working. All right. So just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. The feet flat on the floor, and just feel the weight of your sits bones in your chair, your hands in your lap, and your shoulders aligned with your hips, and your ears aligned with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light, and it sort of stretches from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And then just go to the crown of the head and release any tension on the crown and in your face. So just allow your face to soften. And then your body, back of the head, the neck, shoulders, and all of your limbs. And bring your attention to your breath, noticing the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. And then be aware of all the different sounds in your environment, trying sort of not to follow them with the mind. So just allow them just to be there. And then check in with your mind, try and put some space in between your thoughts. And then bring to mind all the people of the life, the loved ones, the strangers, and then the ones you don't like. And then, remember they're all equal, that they don't want to suffer, they want to be happy, and they all have a extraordinary potential. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity as well. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of, specific actions of your body and your speech. And then you think about, why do I want to regret? So the reason regret is based on this logic of karma. And, we experience everything due to our past karma and our past actions. So, given that we may have harmed others in the past, we're going to suffer in the future. So we want to pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor rather than a higher power. And we have, he has these methods, this medicine that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and he's facing the same way as you. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher in this form manifesting for your benefit. And he's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful radiant face. His eyes, they're kind of long and shaped like lotus petals and looking at you with love and compassion and total acceptance. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left is underneath the right. So the left's always closest to the heart. And the left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right holds a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And when they're crossed like that, it represents enlightenment, infinite wisdom, and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by the practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So, in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So, think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about those people who've harmed you and particularly have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them sometime in the future. So then we come to the power of remedy. And this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a hom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita trida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya seka a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa, Zitokaya meboa, Zipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabosidi mepiata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka A Hum Pe. Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Zipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabosidi mimpiatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabosidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum. Hey. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking about people behind their backs, gossiping, all of this instantly dispelled by this powerful nectar filling you. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawazidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabosidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabosidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Seta A Hum Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Seta A Hum Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel really happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of light from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So as instantaneously as The light dispels the darkness in a room when you flick on the switch. So same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, anger, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya saka a hum pe. Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya, vajrasappa dina patita, drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And now imagine there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So you imagine that Vajrasattva sends nectar, and this pushes out all the negativity of the body, and then nectar again pushing up all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and just blasts all of the delusions. This happens all at once. And in this way, completely eradicates even the very, very subtle imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorekta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe ambhadrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajra mami mutta vajra bawa mahasamaya seta a hompe. Ambhadra sapa samaya manupalaya vajra sapa dina patita. Drida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawazidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajra mami mutta vajra bawa mahasamaya seta a hompe. Ambhadrasapa samaya manupalaya vadrasapa dina patita Drida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Ambhadrasapa samaya manupalaya vadrasapa dina patita Tida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mebi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum. Okay. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new and more positive directions. So really rejoice in your efforts for coming along tonight. It's not nothing that you give up this time, particularly for some of you, and it's either very early in the middle of the day or actually in sort of the very late at night ones. And then think of something you'd like to work on, whether it's kind of rumination or, maybe gossiping, whatever it is that you do that you know is harmful. And maybe do some inquiry into maybe developing a little bit more awareness about what's going on in your mind. All right, so Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So here, as usual, we think a little bit about emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So here we are with chanting the names of Manjushri, the thorough queller of intense affliction, arriving at samsara's opposite shore, his crown the crown of wisdom, consecration, his ornaments comprising perfect Buddhas, the soother of the pain of threefold pain, the ender of the trio ending free, arriving at the threefold liberation, completely free of every obscuration, having achieved a quality sky-like, beyond the stains of every last affliction, aware of timelessness in all three times, most eminent amongst all sentient beings, the crown amongst those crowned with noble virtues. It does sound so beautiful. All right. All right, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for a swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your individual teachers. And again, making strong prayers for all of, Nepal's not settled, and a lot of people are injured in hospital, and a lot of people died. So just sending all of them many, many prayers. And lots of love. And I will see you all on Monday. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for hosting, Shayla.